I want you to think about prices 1 year apart. That around this time last year, a liter of petrol was going for about 129. Now, depending on where you are, it's retailing something close to 214, 211. How then do we manage when we have all these variances? And we are going to look at what is called the money system for us to be able to understand that kind of variance and how we can be able to deal with it. If you're driving on the highway, you normally know how to communicate with all the other road users. There are signals for that purpose. And you know what road signs demand of you. And that way you can anticipate other drivers and they can anticipate you. So the highway code is a system with basic principles. And when you go to a driving school, we ensure you understand the highway code. And I know my listener now must be wondering, so where are you heading to with all that discussion? That money management is actually not taught in schools. There is no equivalent to the highway code to promote safety or responsible behavior or courtesy at all times for all money users. Scholars have not even told us about any principles that we can follow. But when you glean on the trend of those who effectively manage their finances, then they are observable principles. These principles actually need to be installed by memorizing because we need them all the time. If you think about how they train drivers, they train you slowly over time. You get these things to enter your memory. When you've not driven for a long while, you still remember those things. And once we are able to put these principles in our mind, they will protect us from our fears and sometimes our self-defeating attitudes during times that are challenging, like now. Or even when we have times of blessings, because times of blessings do come. And know we have more resources than we had before. So if you have a little, if you have a lot, I think these principles are good for us and we want to base them in the mind and not in the heart. Now you might say, why am I saying in the mind and not in the heart? They come in handy so that we do not use feelings when we are making money decisions. Because there's always a danger using feelings when we are making money decisions. Because feelings and emotions are fickle and they change all the time. You know how excited we feel when we have the money? And it actually changes the way you make your decision. How do we feel when we don't have the money? We actually feel very bad. We are annoyed about it. And that's why we don't want to put these rules in our hearts. We want to put them in our minds. Because basing our money management on principles means we are building a system that is strong and that is enduring. When our feelings go south or when we're not happy with what we are doing, we can hang on these principles. And they will always present some truth and some standard that can allow us to be able to move on without a lot of changes. So we can count on them when we don't feel like following them. We can count on them when we want to enjoy the outcomes. And if you want to come to class, there are 5 free slots. Be the first one to book. Or you WhatsApp 0708-150-137 and you'll be given one of the 5 free slots. You can also get yourself a copy of my good book, Wallet Words, where these principles are very well explained and maybe slowly you can learn about them.